Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Coach Tyler here. Wanted to answer some questions. Had a couple people submit questions online. I'm going to go to this one. I think it's a very interesting question. What's the process of unwinding the lower body? My head moves forward on the downswing. Is it the feeling of left knee initiating or left hip? Okay, so let's assume it's a right-handed golfer, which would make sense based on the left side initiating, or left hip, left knee in transition. One thing I think is really important is understanding what's leading to that point, okay? So from a loading stance in the backswing, what's gonna give myself the best way to unwind or transition, I think is really important. Definitely dependent on the player. I'm gonna go to, if we're in a pretty good position at the top, some cueing for downswing and transition, okay? So if we're looking at what's gonna happen, if I had the club like this and I did a backswing where I loaded up, where I'm just going to do a super exaggerated motion so you can picture what's happening. So if I loaded up where my front knee starts to actually come off the ground, so this would be like a really loaded position, but I'm exaggerating because I'm lifting this foot. So there's a big load in the backswing, okay? So I'm across into my back leg, obviously dependent on the player, how much you get into the back hip, how much you turn. Again, I'm just doing my best to answer this question. So I'm loading up. Okay, so there's my loaded backswing. Put my front foot back down. From that position, when I'm gonna start, so my pressure is in my back foot, okay? So as I'm starting down, again, depending on the player, how much lateral I'm gonna have, if it's a player that wants to hit a draw, or they're a little limited coming out of their back hip on the external rotation side, you might see them drive a little bit more laterally, okay? So that would put the club a little more inside, or because of the options, limited options, using the back hip. Again, external rotation would be if the hip's going this way, which is that's me pushing this way in the downswing, okay? So if I'm a little limited there, you might see a little bit of sway first. And then from there, so I'm getting my body moving slightly to my front side, and I would be pushing off that back foot at the same time. That lead knee, I'm trying to get it in a good spot, lead hip in a good spot. So when I push this foot backwards and this foot forward, that's gonna cause my rotation, okay? I'm not actually trying to turn, okay? I'm looking at, from a transition standpoint, am I in my back leg? When I come down, the pressure starts to move to my front. Some people it's a lot, some people it's a little. And then as I'm pushing this foot backwards, I'm also pushing this foot forward, and then that's causing my rotation, okay? So from a sequencing standpoint in transition, it would be here, right? I'm going, this foot's pushing back, which makes this knee drive forward. If I have the room, I won't be too lateral, I'll probably just be rotation. And then this foot's pushing forward, driving me backwards. Ultimately, I like it when the knee gets in a good spot. I like it when the hips sort of in line or close to in line with the inside of the front foot, sort of the inside instep of the front foot. So when I push, it helps me rotate, gets me in a really solid impact position. If I'm late on that, it could be backswing related. So late being I'm starting down like this. It could be how the muscles are firing, again, depending on the player. But if I was just saying in general, I think that's a good way to think about it. When I get up to the top, I'm not spinning. I'm creating a little bit of push off my back foot, a little bit of push backwards and a little bit of push forward. That gives me that rotation into impact, and that's going to be my transition sequence from a neutral-ish top of the backswing, trying again to hit a relatively neutral golf shot. If I'm demoing it, I get set up here, get up into the top, into that loaded position. This hip's driving forward, this foot's pushing back, which causes that rotation. This one's going the other way, which causes that rotation. That's my transition to highlight it, freeze it, and then unwind. That's me really using the ground in that unwinding move, doing my best to create efficient energy when I'm doing that transition. Thanks for watching, guys. If you need any more help or understanding when it comes to what might work the best for you or what will work the best for you, that comes with me knowing more about you and how you move. If you want to understand that a bit more, make sure you check the description. It will walk you through the steps on the process for that. Thanks. Have a great day.